Comic Boom.
Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review Batman issue 68. This issue is a visual feast if you're an Amanda Conner fan, and I am. I love Amanda Conner. Her art is fun, jovial, smiley, fantastic, joyful. Amanda Conner's art always puts a smile on my face, and for that reason alone, I really enjoyed Batman issue 68. It does not move the narrative forward as someone who is following the longer narrative of the Nightmare storyline by Tom King. This really doesn't move the storyline forward. This is just an excuse, quite frankly, to allow Amanda Conner to show off her beautiful art. And for that reason alone, I'm going to enjoy this issue, and I did. This is basically, this issue has absolutely no consequence whatsoever into this longer narrative. It doesn't make sense in the longer narrative of Tom King. Batman is currently incapacitated. He's having dreams and nightmares. He's incapacitated. He was knocked out, like whatever, five or six issues ago, he was knocked out, rendered unconscious by the Flashpoint Batman in the Batcave, and he's been hooked up, and he's been having basically nightmares and dreams at the behest of Bane, who's controlling everything. That's what's happening in Batman issue number 68. That's what's happening, and this is just him having a dream of Selina Kyle and Lois Lane having a bachelorette party, basically, with Lois Lane and Catwoman going to the Fortress of Solitude, you know, getting all sexied up, getting drunk, drinking all different types of wine from around the galaxy that are contained in the Fortress of Solitude, getting aroused in a hot tub together. It's not what you think, but some beautiful scenes, some cute scenes, and just women being women and having fun at a bachelorette party. Meanwhile, it's juxtaposed against some very boring scenes between Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. Instead of them going out and partying it up with strippers, they go and they play a game of chess. It's really kind of pathetic. But meanwhile, Lois Lane and Catwoman have the Superman robots in the Fortress of Solitude do a little striptease for them, and they enjoy that. This is just a fun comic book, and I'll just throw some images on there as I'm saying this. It's a fun comic. Again, it's an enjoyable read. This is a good one-shot. You can consider this a one-shot. You can pick this up and enjoy it for what it is. You can just ignore the last page where it's Batman. It shows Batman having the dreams. This is, you know, part of the nightmare angle. The irony is that even though this is part of the Nightmares arc, it's not a nightmare. I mean, this issue is not a nightmare at all. Batman's not having a nightmare. I mean, believe me, Amanda Conner's gorgeous art. She draws a pretty sexy Lois Lane and Catwoman. There's nothing about this comic book that's going to give you bad dreams, okay? So don't worry about that. It really is obvious just how out of place this comic book is in the Tom King larger narrative, but this is really more of a sequel to sort of like the date night issue where Batman and Catwoman went out with Superman and Lois. It's more of that, even though it's completely imaginary. It means nothing. It doesn't really happen. So it can be an issue that you can read into it whatever you like. It's not actually in continuity because it just takes place in Batman's head. So, but hey, it's a fun issue. It's a fun issue. The art's, like I say, is gorgeous. Again, it's not really much to say beyond that. So, yeah, all I can say is if you want to know what Selina Kyle and Lois Lane looked like dressed up in a Superman suit, you can check it out. There's some really wonderful pages here. It's so obvious that you could tell that Amanda Conner, the artist, had a lot of fun drawing the images, drawing the pages. She's done such a good job here. As I said, it's really hard for me to read this and not have a big smile on my face. I've had the privilege of meeting Amanda Conner and her husband Jimmy Palmiotti at the Calgary Comic-Con, and both, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row there. And they're a wonderful couple. They love comic books, and I mean, how can you not love Amanda Conner's art? So guys, pick this up. You'll enjoy the visual feast alone. And as far as Tom King's larger narrative, it is what it is. Just pick it up for the art. It's well worth it. So guys, tell me what you think of Batman issue 68. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40, and until next time, Comic Boom out.